Hey guys, it's Tom. It is Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. We're about to get underway here. One moment. Wake up. 42361. Spell mode off. Go to sleep. Broadcast is good. The microphone is on. Sharing my screen. Okay. We have got a SOMIFA quarterfinal game, the last of the quarterfinals. It is Paul Mankowitz's Houston Texans, 10-6 in the regular season, the number 6 seed, I believe. And victors over the Indianapolis Colts in the wild card round. Paul is taking on TJ Lama in San Diego, the 13-3 San Diego Chargers, the number 3 seed. It's been an unusual SOMIFA postseason. Some upsets. I hate to issue spoiler alerts, so I'm about to. So if you have not watched, listened to the Minnesota-Seattle game or the Green Bay Jets game, I'm going to tell you what happened here in a moment. But basically, it's been upset city. I'm in the game, but I don't see anything happening. Hold on. Wake up. Spell it off. I'm in the game, Prid. Go ahead. Press enter key. Go to sleep. All right, now they're connected. Okay. Get going here. But it's been upset city. Yeah, NFL Ed, the tremendous success. Usually has a good regular season record, often goes deep in the playoffs, was knocked out in the mini playoffs with the 9-7 team. And then you got Jay Villing, defending SSFA, defending SOMIFA champion, 2-time SSFA champion. He gets knocked out in the wild card round by Ron Dickinson's Green Bay Packers. Then you got the 1 seed, Mr. Loudmouth himself, yours truly, 13-3, knocked out by the same Ron Dickinson in overtime this morning. And you got Dennis Crowley, Lord Crowley, just wins everything all the time, is always in it deep, 13-3, number 2 seed, defeated by Dale Ripley. So all you only got left is you got Dale Ripley, you got Ron Dickinson, and Nathan, the 4 seed, advancing to the semifinals. And the winner of this game, Paul Mankowitz versus TJ Lama. And I believe that if TJ wins, we will definitely have a first-time SOMIFA champion this year. Paul's the only one left in the field who has won a championship. And Houston has the ball. That's Paul Mankiewicz. There was a touchback on the kickoff. He's got Drew Brees at quarterback, Le'Veon Bell at halfback, playing a blocking back formation with Kyle Juszczyk. Off tackle left. I feel like I've called in the regular season, possibly. It might have been a bonus, SOMIFA showcase. Then I called their wild card game. So I feel like I know this team pretty well. It's like I've seen these guys before. And that was a 7-yard game behind the great Kyle Juszczyk. Second and 3. So the Texans win. They actually would, as the 6 seed, they would host Minnesota in the semifinal. Eagle wins. They will host the Green Bay Packers. Short pass to Brandon Cooks. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Now TJ's defense, 10 yards at a first down from Drew Brees to Brandon Marshall. This defense a far cry from what TJ once had, when the front 7 was loaded with 5s and 6s and 12s and asterisks and what have you. But the secondary is still what you expect from a TJ defense. 3 6s and a 5 back there. 3-4 goes 5-4-5 the defensive line. 4-0-4-0. An outside linebacker 0 on the Chargers. That linebacker. Flat pass right, Le'Veon Bell, successful double team by Earl Thomas. And 5 is incomplete on the defense's card. It was a white die 5, but probably still would have been some sort of a completion. That might be the LB1 or +6 reading, but that's on an average defense. TJ's home, so he has the good pass defense cards. Second down and 10 for the Texans at their own 42. Brandon Marshall the split end. Brandon Cook's the flanker. Jason Witten tight end. Not a very good offensive line for run blocking. Terrible, quite frankly. Short pass Brandon Marshall. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 3 men there. TJ giving extra attention to Le'Veon Bell early. And we have receiver guess right. 12 yards on a first down for the veteran Brandon Marshall. 3-7-12. My math is failing me. 22-30. So he's maxed out on the short pass. This is his second year with the New York Jets card, not the first one when he had an excellent season for the Jets. His first season in New York. And the Texans were in San Diego territory. Looking back to Jason Witten, defense goes short yardage. I can't say I approve of that. Guess wrong, 10 yards. Is it great how you get knocked out of the playoffs? Sometimes I don't even make them, and I'm criticizing guys who are going on further. Maybe even the guy who beat me. Well, Ron punches a pretty straight-up game, so it's tough to criticize him. 1st and 10 for Houston at the San Diego 36. So we'll see Ron. We'll see Ron in the semifinals start criticizing his coaching after beating me in the playoffs. Short pass, Brandon Cooks, defense double teaming elsewhere. 3 men there. 6 is at corner and at free safety. Picked off 2-6-12 on Drew Reed's card, guess right. 7 is incomplete. Nothing terribly fancy for the Texans offense. They're going to run it left foot Le'Veon. They're going to throw some flat passes. They're going to throw some short passes. They'll mix in a bomb. Nothing too crazy. And the San Diego gets the ball. It's going to be a passing fest. Tom Brady, a wall of 7s. Tremendous receiving targets. And it's dump off city or completions on Brady's card. He's got very little interceptions. And then occasionally hand it off to Tim Hightower. And on the left, Le'Veon Bell. You can double team again, but now there's a blitz in there. So it's not a true double team. The linebacker zone -5 or +6. And Terrell Suggs could not make the play. Actually, it's a 5 against the run. And a 6-yard gain, 3rd down and 4 now for the Texans at the San Diego 30. This was a defense that had Mario Williams and Terrell Suggs and Cameron Wake. I think Wake is still here. Then 5-12-1. Trey Flowers at right end. I think he had Vince Wilfork for many years and traded him away a couple years ago before he fell off. He had Don Terry Poe for a while. Probably still does, but he did not have a good rating last year. Short pass, Brandon Marshall. Defense double team Jason Witten. 3rd and 4. Whole thing has decent pass blocking, if not better. So dump off very much in play. Receiver gets right, incomplete to Marshall. 4th and 4 now from the 30. This will be a 47-yard attempt for Adam Vinatieri, who I think is about 2-9, maybe 2-9-12 here. Dan Morin, who's listening, has him in SOMIFA, but the kick is no good on a 10. And TJ not only sees the scoreboard stay at 0, but gets the ball at his own 37 to start his first possession. Jalen Richard on this team, okay. And I think Hightower. Nathan listening in. Dan says, yes, I was right about him having Vinatieri and SOMIFA because I was thinking about trying to trade for him, but I don't think I will. Graham Godot's younger. A good year next year, but my team won't be as good next year. So Vinatieri will be better this year. Hate that SOMIFA team that I have. Oh. They're neither fish nor fowl, and that's not where I want to be. So Hightower will get the start here. And TJ comes out with Tom Brady, 2 tight ends, 2 wides. How about some receiving targets? Emma right to Tim Hightower, running at the 4. Pole has got a 4.665. Defensive line, 8 to 12-yard gain for Hightower, first and up to 49. But Jordy Nelson, Alshon Jeffrey, Jimmy Graham, and Antonio Gates. And I swear he even has another decent tight end on the bench. I think I saw him go. I played him in the regular season. They went to a tight end offense, a true tight end offense. And the fullback was like a 3rd tight end guy who was also pretty decent. I was like, TJ holds on to his players a little bit sometimes, stingily. All-out blitz by Paul was a heavy pass rush, but TJ got a wall of 7. Short pass to Alshon Jeffrey. Defender extra short gain, first down to 17. You see Paul's defense, very interesting defense. It's a 4-3 defense that goes 4-6-6-4 at the defensive line. Sometimes plays a left end 0, I believe. That's pretty good pass rush from the front 4. And at 2 outside linebacker 12s, and the linebacker's a 5-6-6. He plugs the end runs, dances around in the flats, and you want to pick on the secondary 4-4-4-5, but usually it's Sac City, but TJ's got a wall of 7s. I think he has 1-on-7 offensive line. We'll take a right to Hightower. Goes run blocking, 66 on the right side. Guess wrong, 6 yards for Hightower. Second down to 4. And Cody Whitehair, I think, is the odd man out. 4-5 at center, I think. Yes. Yeah, Donald Penn. Kalechi Osemele. TJ Lang and Trent Williams. The other 4 guys, he has 4-6-7s on his line in a center 4-5. And usually get deep in the SOMIFA playoffs, you'll run into teams with 3 or 4 7 to the offensive line. Makes it hard for teams to rely heavily on the pass rush. Linebook draw to Hightower. Defense gets in pass. The box is in play. Dreaded 5, no gain. So DJ not sitting back there and firing away like I thought he might. He started out, I think, 5. He might have been only 5-3. I don't remember. So he might have won his last 8 games. I don't recall. But I think he finished 13-3. Maybe only 12-4, but I think 13-3. I don't recall. But now we've got a 3rd and 4 for the Chargers. The Houston 28. Just like Paul had, kind of a big 3rd down to try to keep it going. Fly pass right, Jimmy Graham. Defense gets his pass, double teaming elsewhere. There's a 5 linebacker there. Defender +2 or +5. Only gains 2. Cam Chancellor was a 5, makes the play. 4th and 2 for TJ at the Houston 26. Matt Bryant is one of the better kicking cards this year. So TJ is going to go for the 43-yarder. TJ, fairly conservative coach in terms of going forward versus punting and those types of things. And the kick is up and good, 2-10. So it's 3-0 Chargers mid-first quarter. Kick goes down deep. Well, not that deep, to the 4-yard line. Boxcars makes it a 15-yard return for Pharaoh Cooper, who will be probably the best returner in the set. One guy that can do both punts and kicks, but also probably the best number 1 back as a punt returner. So Paul's got that to look forward to, in addition to Drew Brees and Le'Veon Bell. And I'm going to assume a little better offensive line, but you never know. Paul has, I think, 3 SOMIFA championships. Long pass Brandon, that's why he don't go short yardage. Long pass Brandon Cooks, nobody there against a short yardage defense. I don't understand that. Receiver gets wrong, +27. First down, wouldn't have mattered, of course, on Breeze Carpet. I mean, Paul's got all 4s and 0s run blocking. If you call run and put 1 linebacker up there, is it really that much worse? You got to go short yardage and give him 1 pass, no men. Short pass, 3 men. All your defense, all your secondary nerfed by 1. I don't know. That's just me anyway. There's a time and place for short yardage, but in a certain defense. But I don't like it in those type of spots. Short pass, Brandon Marshall. Defense double teaming Le'Veon Bell. We're actually assigning coverage to Earl Thomas because he keeps blitzing the right outside. Terrell Suggs picked off 2-4. Guessed right, incomplete. Breeze's flat pass. Breeze's guessed right interceptions. As Paul's got 7s also. But Breeze's guessed right interceptions a little higher than they are sometimes. Yeah, though Paul's got a 4-2 at left tackle, a 4-7 at left guard, a 4-7 at center. 0-3 at right guard, a 0-4 right tackle. There's a draw play off tackle left to Le'Veon Bell. No linebackers there. Nose tackle 0+3, 3-yard gain. Dante Poe, only a 4 in the 2016 card set. Next year, I believe he'll be a 4-3 defensive tackle. Did not grade out very well. For the Saints, took out a guy whose value is really dropped off. I mean, 2 years ago, you would have got like a 1 and a 2 probably for Dontari Poe. 3rd and 7 for the Texans. At their own 49. Big third down here. They trail 3-0. 3 wide, 1 halfback. CJ Process. I don't know how many teams in the league can take Le'Veon Bell out of the lineup for a better receiving back. Short pass, Brandon Cooks. Foreman there. Dump off and play. Picked off 2-7-12. Picked off by the defense on the 6. TJ's got it at his own 36. Going to try a run back. And he's going quite a ways. 20 yards, it looks like. Okay. Aqib Talib. I think Chris Harris is actually the other corner. TJ has these Denver corners. I think he's had those 2 guys their entire SOMIFA career. TJ generally drafts guys young and just keeps them. Why not? Because they're usually pretty good. He's an excellent drafter. 3-0. He's traded for Tom Brady, though. 3-0. Short pass. Alton Jeffrey has ball goes short yardage. Why not? 1st and 10. You got 4-6-6-4. Not good enough for the 4-3. You got a short yardage. Receiver gets run plus 14 for Jeffrey. Wouldn't have mattered, of course. And the Chargers suddenly at the Houston 30-yard line. 4:12 to go in the first quarter. They already lead 3-0. TJ has had a couple of really good teams. I think he had 2 15-1 teams. Short pass, Alshon Jeffrey being double teamed, 1 blitz on. Hightower's the double team incomplete on Brady. Hightower's the blocking back in that situation. I don't know what his number is. We'll try to take a look at it. It's 0-0. So Von Miller coming in or Brian Arakpo, who forget who the other linebacker is. Vic Beasley. Have an opportunity to get away from those 7s and use the asterisk rating if it can be a white die 6. Short pass, Jimmy Graham. 2 men blitzing, 3 men in zone. The Paul's getting the bump. He might just get a sack sooner or later here. Short pass right 3 is incomplete for Brady. 5-11, 15, 18 units of completion. And his must run. So TJ hoping not to stall again and have to settle for a field goal. It's 3rd down and 10. At the Houston 30. Paul kind of weathering the early storm here. 3-3-5 blitz. Oh. TJ has to view that as a personal affront against this wall of 7s. But Hightower can't pass block. TJ might do a run play. I've seen him be conservative here. He got more aggressive with Brady, I think, as the year went on. I'm not sure about that. Looking at the stats. And everyone blitzing. Paul trying to knock him back. 4 men in zone. Graham covered by 5. Nothing happens. Aiden Brady's caught incomplete. Anticlimactic. 7 out of 6 was a 1-13 sack. So 4th and 10 from the 30. Matt Bryant comes out for another field goal try. Chargers going to try and push this lead out to 6-0. It was 2-10, but a negative variable is in play. No negative variable. 9, it's good. 2-10. And the Chargers take a 6-0 lead. 3 minutes to go in the first. Kick goes down to the 1-yard line. And it's brought back 21 yards by Farrell Cooper. So you got a 1st and 10 for the Texans at their own 22. The game moving at a nice, crisp pace. You can't get more experience than Paul. And TJ's been around a while as well, certainly. TJ's probably a founding member of SOMIFA. Both of these guys, I think, are founding members of SOMIFA. 1st down and 10. Left tackle left to Le'Veon Bell. 1 linebacker in zone. Linebacker in zone -1 and +4, 1-yard loss. Denzel Perriman, the 45 inside linebacker from the NFL's Chargers, makes the play. 5 out of 5. 2nd down 11 for the Texans. Bell's got 4 carries for 15 yards. So there are certainly pass rush opportunities here for TJ. Never been the most aggressive guy in defense, though. Doesn't like to give the empty zones. I think he's improved in that area this year. And remember, right to Le'Veon Bell, defense double teaming elsewhere. Paul already behind the offensive tight end, Jason Witten. Teams have been plugging the other end run. 6 is a short game for Bell. 15 yards and a first down. Texans up at their own 36. Now, Paul, of course, has been in San Diego territory. Missed that 47-yard field goal, I believe it was. With that Vinatieri on a 10, it was 2-9, or 2-9 and 12. And I think it was picked off right around midfield on his following possession. We'll take a right to Le'Veon Bell. There's the short yardage again. This time it's guessed correctly. One linebacker in that zone. +3. So it would have been +10, I believe. +11 if you did not plug that side. So there's one in favor of the short yardage. I'm not in favor of that early in this matchup. All the matchups are different, of course. Maybe TJ feels like Paul's not going to challenge him deep too much with Earl Thomas and the corner sixes, but flat pass left, Kyle Juszczyk. No double team on, throwing out a linebacker 0. The double-double is on Jason Witten and Le'Veon Bell. Receiver gets right is a 4-yard gain. Sets up a 3rd and 3 for the Texans as now we move into the second quarter. They're at their own 43, a big third down. It's been kind of a unremarkable game in terms of big plays and stuff like that. I mean, it's early, just starting the second quarter, but seems kind of plodding along. Breeze 5 of 10 for 63 yards, no touchdown. No touchdowns, 1 interception. I think that's an illustration of that. Long pass, Brandon Cooks. Defense double teaming elsewhere, so no man there on 3rd and 3. Single coverage against the 6, though. And he's got the good pass defense cards. Defender X a long gain, but that's going to be Aqib Talib all the way, saying, don't come at me with that. Giving him the Dikembe Mutombo finger wave. And now it's 4th and 3 for Bradley Rack and the punting for the Texans. It's a 45-yard punt. I don't think he has a good opponent PR. Jalen Richards back. I think he has a touchdown and 2 doesn't. Fumble -3 and 11. Fumble for Jalen Richard. And the Texans recover at the San Diego 9. And TJ, who has had a couple of very disappointing outings in the postseason in recent years, has got to be saying, not again. Everything was going fine. Just received the goddamn punt. And Jalen Richard fumbles it away. The Texans now at the San Diego 9, 1st and goal. Touchdown and a lead in the offense. Let's see what TJ can do here. Paul goes full house with Theo Riddick, Mike Tolbert, and Le'Veon Bell. So certainly receiving targets there. You know, he would like to throw to one of these backs or the tight end to stay away from the corner 6s. Short pass, Theo Riddick. Defense calls run. Foreman there. I don't know if Riddick is in the halfback or the flanker spot here. But Foreman 11 is incomplete. No good at anybody's card there. Now, Bell has the short gains, a couple of short gains. I think we saw 6 and 8 on the end run. So that's in play. But you have to think most people are thinking pass here. Beaten by Breeze. Pass wrong. Scared of getting picked off, really, either. He's like, whatever. Throw it, I don't care. For the game. Just in terms of calling right and wrong or making you get right and wrong. And we're left Le'Veon Bell. No linebackers there. 2 in the off tackle. I don't like that. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 8 in either quarter is a touchdown. 4 is +2. Not one of the better results Paul could have gotten there. He had 13 units of touchdown and a lot of units of +5 or +6 or more. 8 was a touchdown in the defense. But it's only a 2-yard gain. 3rd and goal from the 7. 3 wide, 1 halfback for Paul. So with CJ Process back there, this is virtually a guaranteed pass. Will we see Paul free safety blitz? TJ free safety blitz here. Why not? You know, maybe you want to reserve the double, but Process is a 0-0. Paul's got some weaknesses in the offensive line. TJ stays 3-4. I think a lot of us would have gone with the nickel and the safety blitz there, perhaps, in this matchup. Short pass, Quincy and Nunwa. Foreman there. Linebacker double team on Jared Cook. A number covered by 6. And Drew Brees incomplete on his own card. So Paul's going to settle for a field goal attempt. Nice job by the San Diego defense. Actually, it's the first 2 plays incorrectly. But Paul cannot get the rolls he needed. Probably can't complain the rolls after the fumbled punt. So it's a short field goal, makes it 6-3. And this kick goes deep into the end zone. And is a touchback. I'm calling this game from my wheelchair, and I feel like my vocals aren't as good as usually. I'm in bed when I call the game. But anyway, 6-3. San Diego's the ball. One pass, Jimmy Graham. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Graham covered by 5, though. But this is Tom Brady. And a dump off incomplete for Jordy Nelson. And that's part of the thing with this offense, too, is, you mentioned the receiving targets and all the 7 to the offensive line. He gets the dump offs. He's got good cards receiving these dump offs. Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates, Jordy Nelson. You wish you probably had a bit of running back for receiving, but you can't have everything. It's been a very good year for the Chargers. They would love to make it continue and host the semifinal to try to make the SOMIFA Super Bowl. But they've got a few quarters of business here against Paul Mangwitz's Houston Texans. Short pass, Jimmy Graham. Defense double teaming elsewhere. GG thrown to the guy, not as likely to be double teamed. Defender X a long game. Looks like a white die 6. He got it. Covered by a 5. Cam Chancellor, not the player he once was. White die 6 on defender X a long game on a short pass. 39-yard completion to Jimmy Graham on a catch and run. And the Chargers are down to Houston 36. Wants to get this ball into the end zone. As expected, this has been a short pass attack. Some running on the first possession. Off tackle left to Tim Hightower. No linebackers there. 8 to 6-yard gain for Hightower. 4 carries, 24 yards. Second down and 4. Unusual SOMIFA postseason this year. It's in Dale Ripley, 9-7, 10-6. The 8 seed, and someone said the 11 seed, advancing to the semifinals. The 1 and 2 seed gone. It's over, Johnny. Second and 4 for the Chargers, the Houston 30. Jay Villi gone. Ed gone. Long pass, Jordy Nelson. Defense double teaming Jimmy Graham. 3 blitzes on. 9 just missed it. I used to play a little bit, a few times. I played in some Strat baseball tournaments, dice and cards. They would call that a field goal. The guy had good results, and in between there was a miss. They called that a field goal. I never liked that terminology. But either way, it was right in between. Sandwiched in between. 3rd and 4. We've seen a lot of this for an early in the game. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 at the opponent 30-yard line. Off tackle right to Hightower, pull the run call. But he just got those 6s, but not a blocking back. Blocking back plus 1 and -1. San Diego really could have used a blocking back on that play, according to the text here. And now they're going to try a 40-yard field goal. The variable very much in play. Matt Bryant 2 to 10 if he avoids the variable. And he actually gets hit with the variable, but he's still 2 to 7 and makes it. So 40-yard field goal. We got a field goal fest. 9-3 Chargers. Kick goes deep into the end zone for Farrell Cooper. He's going to down that. And the Texans come out again. It's been, I don't want to say boring, but I feel like usually you see a little more big plays from scrimmage or something. I know it's been an unusual game so far. 9-3. It's still early second quarter. For the boxing match, I think the fans will be clamoring for a little more action, a little more mixing it up. We'll see. But, and Paul's blitzing, but he did I got 7s. And he just stands. He doesn't do a lot of defensive movement, and it's certainly not blitzing. One pass, Brandon Cooks. Defense gets his pass. They got a 6 safety, a 6 corner. Receiver gets right, incomplete. Well, I was like, boy, I'd love to get that 2 plus 98. How about that? Jeez. I need to Google that and find out what that play looked like last year. I don't remember that. 2nd down and 10 for the Texans at their own 25. Dan Moore at this matchup down there in that 3rd and goal for the 9. He'd been safety blitzing. Showed by Brandon Marshall, defense double teaming elsewhere. Dump off good for 5 yards. 2nd high linebacker, but there were no blitzes. 3rd down and 5 for the Texans. Drew Brees 6 of 15 for 68 yards. No touchdowns and an INT. Through an SSFA, your coach files due next week. Get it out there early. Do your position swaps. You can still make trades and change things, but get your coach file out there. Make your job easier. 3rd and 5 for the Texans, their own 30. Wide, 1 halfback, shotgun formation, looking past to Brandon Cooks, trying to pick on that linebacker 4. Any of these linebackers is fine. TJ doubling elsewhere. And we did not see any animation, but it looks like it was a 5-yard completion. Every now and then the game decides it's not going to tell you what happened, but something happened. 1st down, hopefully not still out of sync. Let's see what happens here. Do I have my animation on? I just realized I feel like I did. Yes, I remember the Jimmy Graham big play. Middle of the 2nd quarter, 8:24 to go, 9-3 Chargers. And we're left Le'Veon Bell. Defense gets in pass, but they're blitzing with what looks like Terrell Suggs, who's a 0-5. Offensive onside ends 0 or -1. Kyle Juszczyk made the key block. Good thing he did because it's a no gain. It would have been -1 otherwise. See, Paul likes to run Emerald left because he gets both the offensive onside end and the blocking back, being Kyle Juszczyk, the 6. But TJ is blitzing there to try to take that away. He's done a lot of that. With the 0-5 outside linebacker, who's also a good pass rusher in Terrell Suggs. He's assigning coverage with Earl Thomas onto Le'Veon Bell, who's, of course, a better defender. And he's not that worried about the rest of it because he has good, he's got corner 6s against Brandon Marshall, Brandon Cooks, and Jason Witten covered by a 5. So Paul, he feels like Paul's had a hard time getting the offense going. It's not really been a great offensive team this season. Flat pass left to Kyle Juszczyk. Defense double teaming Brandon Cooks rather. And white die 6, short gain, 10 yards and a 1st down. Pull up at his own 45. San Diego was 12-4 in the regular season, 429 points scored, 357 allowed. And it looks like they did not play Houston. But these two have played each other many times over the years. I don't know how often in the playoffs. 1st and 10 for the Texans. Mid-2nd quarter. They trailed 9-3. They missed a field goal. But they got a punt return fumble at the 9 and cashed in with a field goal. Not quite cashing in. More like redeeming a discount coupon when you get the 3 points, I guess. Not exactly what you're hoping for. But 6-yard pass from Brees to Marshall. 2nd and 4 for the Texans at the San Diego 49. I smell the short yardage defense coming up in one of the next few plays. Left tackle left, Le'Veon Bell. Defense double teaming Juszczyk. No linebackers there. The nose tackle's only a 4. But the dreaded 5 rears its ugly head. No gain. It's just been like a workmanlike kind of plotting kind of game. No touchdowns at the 139-yard catch. Seemingly nothing really getting going. I'm not sure, outside of Paul recovering that punt, that fumble punt, no one's kind of like driven past the enemy 29 or 30. There have been a lot of sacks and like exciting defensive plays. Just kind of standing there and stopping the guy, I guess. Lima Le'Veon Bell, defense gets his pass. No one in zone, 3rd and 4. And 7 yards in the first down. This drive is taking on some length. 7 plays, 33 yards so far. 4 minutes of game clock. Bell 10 carries, 42 yards. Did have a short gain earlier. Spectator has joined. That's very important information to tell you. And then right for Le'Veon Bell, running on the right side now because TJ's not blitzing over there. And he gets 8 plus 12, first down. So now Paul's down at the San Diego 30. Let's see if he can penetrate further, or if we're going to get to watch another exciting long field goal attempt. Oh boy! One of these two guys will be playing next round. The shot at the SOMIFA Super Bowl. Paul only 10 and 6 this year. Off that right, Le'Veon Bell. There's the short yardage. I smelled it. There's a couple plays off. 2 plus 3. -2. Blake Martinez, one of Michael Reeves' favorites, is a 0.5. Next year might be 0.6 or a 4.5 or a 4.6. Makes the play. So I'm lining the short yardage defense. The last 2 times he did it, he had the guy in zone and like a total of about 11 yards on the 2 plays. So Jesus says, "What are you talking about, Tom? I'm 2 for 3 in these things." And the other play didn't matter if it gets run or did short yardage. There's a draw off tackle left, Le'Veon Bell, 2nd and 12. Earl Thomas double teaming. A 4-yard gain. It might be that field goal coming up. I don't know, folks. 3rd and 8 for the Texans at the San Diego 28. They trail 9-3. Paul, give me a first down. Jared Cook out of the backfield. Quincy Enunwa. Throw to Cooks. He's maxed out. I know he's covered by. He's not going to be double teamed. I know he's covered by a 6. What do we got here? 3 wide, 1 fullback. It's Jared Cook as the fullback, so that's always nice. You have like a decent receiving tight end you can stick in there. The 3 wide fullback. Short pass, Brandon Marshall. He's maxed out, covered by a 6. 4-minute zone. 1 blitz on. There's a first down, 7-11 yards for Drew Brees. And the deepest penetration on a drive here is this possession right here. The Texans cracked the 20 in the red zone. Of course, they were at the 9 after they recovered the fumbled punt by Jalen Richard at the San Diego 9. They didn't go much further than that and had to settle for a field goal. But now they're driving. 1st and 10 at the San Diego 17. They're taking up an awful lot of time. I think Paul got the ball first. And we are locked up naturally. Flo. Get you too excited. The Chargers will be receiving the second half kick. Now, Paul is a big Chargers fan of the NFL, and he plays as the Chargers in every league possible. But TJ has them in this league. So we got to get a new game number. Bear with me here. Okay, so we're back. I hope they're not waiting for me to give them the green light. That new game number, if anyone needs it, is 62211 62211. Spell it off. I'm ready. Scratch that. I'm ready. Go to sleep. I don't know if TJ was waiting for the go-ahead. We have a short pass to Jared Cook. Earl Thomas double teaming. Are you stuck? You know, I remember. Okay, no, we're here. Paul says he would probably do better against me. He did in the regular season, 17-3. He's got 9 points already. I couldn't go anywhere in that game. Did you try to make sure that everyone's informed of the new number? He does not have a lot of experience having his games broadcast. And, well, okay, that's right. We had the 11-yard completion. 1st and 10 at the San Diego 17, 2:24 to go in the half. You see, I think there's a clock error that happens sometimes on those hangouts, and it feels like you lose time. I'm not certain about that, though. So let's see what we got here. Texans down 9-3. With the trusty Adam Vinatieri warming on the sidelines, but they want more than that. They want a touchdown. They got to kick to TJ to start the second half. Left tackle left, Le'Veon Bell, another short yardage guess correctly. That's 3 straight short yardages that he's done correctly. Linebacker -2 or +3. -2, Denzel Perryman. Would have been defensive and +2 or +9. So it was a 4-yard difference. I had miscounted that last time. But still. So after I maligned his short yardage defense the first time we did it, he said 3 straight times that when he's used a short yardage, it's been a correct run call. And he's helped himself out with about 9 yards minimum of reduced offense for the Texans. 2nd and 12 for Paul. 2-minute warning. He's at the San Diego 19. TJ's got the good defense. He got 4-minute short pass. Looking past Jason Witten, throwing at his 0 linebacker. TJ flooded the right flat. And 5 yards on not a first down. 5-yard completion makes it a 3rd and 7. Used at the San Diego 14, another 3rd and long. As this lengthy drive continues. If they want to, probably won't. It's not TJ's style, really. But you can make the argument that maybe you should have called him out there. And Paul's got plenty of time if Paul gets the first down. That's not even an issue. It's how much time you're going to get when you get the ball back, whether he gets his first down or whether he doesn't. Think about there. 3 wide, 1 halfback shotgun formation. CJ Procise in there. See here, I really think maybe a safety blitz. The guy's a 0-0. You know, you can still flood your flats. Short pass to Procise. And then one the double team. 0 in coverage. And then the target of the double team. Well, and picked off through to 6 and 12. 7 incomplete. On Drew Brees' short pass right. Like I said, on this Drew Brees' right card, a little higher interception than we've seen it sometimes in the past. And you're playing against a good pass defense. He got 4 in his zone. And Paul's going to try a field goal. 31-yarder. Try to make it a 9-6 game. And the kick is up and good. 9-6. And the kick goes down to the 3-yard line of Jalen Richard. 11-yard return, potential fumble. It's a loose ball. Who's got it? Oh, my goodness. TJ says you got to be freaking kidding me. And I don't think he said freaking. A fumbled kickoff at his own 14. 1:07 to go in the half. Leading 9-6. Actually fumbled a punt at his own 9. She's like, what am I going to do to just have, like, to win a playoff game here? Jeez. Only a 1-4 fumble, too. with the good rule that Strat had. Wow. So Paul got a chance to take the lead, or another exciting field goal. Short pass, Brandon Marshall. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Only 3 men in short pass here. He's got to be furious. White dice 6. No, dump off rather. Dump off for 9 yards. That was a second down linebacker with no blitz on. 2nd and 1 for the Texans at the San Diego 5. TJ can think about calling timeout again. You've got Tom Brady. Might be worth a look. Yeah, we get a defensive timeout. Because Paul wasn't gonna call one. That's for sure. 2nd and 1 Texans at the San Diego 5. Big sequence here right before the half. After another heartbreaking special teams fumble for TJ. Can he weather the storm and at least not be losing? Make it 9-9. I'll get the ball to start the second half. Let's see it. Hopefully I can overcome this adversity. Don't want to go down 13-9 here on special teams fumbles. You've had a fairly solid first half. That would just be like kind of annoying. I would be angry about that if I was coaching. I get angry about certain things. I don't get angry about losing. Like Ron coached excellent game, good team, close game. I enjoyed the game a lot. If I lose a certain way under certain circumstances. 2nd one, Aaron Wright to Theo Riddick. Defense calls pass for the linebacker there. So my card versus your card, as one of my recent opponents would say. And my card, short game for Theo Riddick, touchdown Texans. They go up 12-9 thanks to the short field. They've had 2 possessions that started inside the San Diego 15. Makes life a little easier, doesn't it? And Adam Vinatieri off the extra point. He's automatic 2-12, so it's good. You can still block that. 13-9. Kick goes 8 yards deep. I have a feeling TJ will down this. Unbelievable. But you got to overcome the adversity. Look, I know what happened. I know you had 2 special teams fumbles inside your own 15. I know you were doing a good job, and you should feel like you should be winning 9-3. Okay, but you're not. It's 13-9. Doesn't matter about all that. It's 13-9, 45 seconds left. You're going to try to do something here. You get the ball back. All that matters is the score and where you are now. So Paul goes dime. Not exactly fearing Tim Hightower's big play running. Although I think 11 and 12 on that off tackle column is perhaps more than 20 yards. I saw that earlier, perhaps. TJ with 2 timeouts. Emma Wright for Hightower, running at that defensive end 4. Defensive end -2 +3. 3-yard gain. Tyson A. Couldn't make the play. Alawu, I think is how they pronounce it. 2nd and 7. TJ probably feels like, I'll just go to halftime. No, he calls timeout. I think Matt Bryant can try it out to the 40. So then you think, I need 32 yards. Maybe throw a looking pass, get a 13-yard pickup, spike the ball. Looking past Antonio Gates. Short pass to Alshon Jeffrey. 2 blitzes on. 4 men in zone. Obviously trying to get a bounce here. Dump off for 6 yards to Hightower. Looks like he got out of bounds on the animation. 3rd down and 1. Paul had the left end 4-4 in that time, and not the I think he has a 0-8 or something like that on the bench. 3rd and 1, Chargers their own 34. 30 seconds to go in the half. If Bryant can kick it out to the 40, then you're looking at getting at least 26 yards. So you got 1 timeout. You probably maybe you get 3 plays if you're lucky. Short pass, Jimmy Graham. Defense gets the pass, no double teaming. 2 blitzes on the outside, 4 in his own. Receiver gets right, incomplete on Graham. Just misses the Snake Eyes +37 with a 4 +14. And Paul left to punt it with Pat McAfee, one of the game's finest. Although he retired, surprisingly. Was not that old. But he does stuff in the media. So a 53-yard punt. Jeez. He got a 12 blocked. Jameson Crowder's got a touchdown and 2, and I think one other very good return. Not a lot of time left here. And special teams have been killing TJ this game. What do we got for the return? We have an 11-yard return after a lengthy delay. I think Paul was deciding whether to let it bounce or not. I used to occasionally let it bounce and hit my guy and he fumbled twice anyway. I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's very agitating. I'll let it bounce, and then you fumble anyway. Especially if you're a decent returner. And for the Texans at their own 24. They lead 13-9, 15 seconds to go in the half. Defense goes nickel. Paul's going to take a knee. Says, I'll get while the getting is good. Halftime here in this SOMIFA quarterfinal matchup. This is the last quarterfinal. We have our results. I think I see Tim Bollier in the audience. He may not have, may not know the results of Minnesota, Seattle, or Green Bay, New York yet, so I won't reveal those. Interesting first half is all I can say. TJ might want to use the upper row of his keyboard, hitting the shift button first for the exclamation marks and pound signs and other type of words you might want to throw in there. Tim, do you know the scores of the the results of the other games, quarterfinals? I don't want to spoil it. You can type into the chat. There's a chat box on the right there. He does know the scores, so there we go. Nathan, look at his chops. Get Tom out of there. Get Dennis out of there. I'll take my chances. Not, hey, look, he's going to take his chances anyway. But let's be honest, I mean, Dennis particularly, it's hard to beat. He makes Super Bowls, he wins championships. It's always at least to the semifinals. The opportunity to say, I'll play Dennis or someone else. We'll probably play someone else. If that other team doesn't have the history of success that some other clubs have. And Nathan's going to be home. Paul wins this one. Well, Nathan's going to be home regardless. Nathan, you're going to be hosting either Ron Dickinson's Green Bay Packers or Dale Ripley. Believe it or not. That'd be interesting. So how about, let's see Minnesota, Atlanta. They think it's a taste of his own medicine as Dale runs the 4 wide all game long. I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting. Well, then I got to root for TJ, I guess, here. I don't know. Well, they can be in the Super Bowl, right? If Paul wins this game, then it's going to have Atlanta hosting Green Bay, and you'd have Houston hosting Minnesota. You have the 6th seed hosting the semifinal. Nathan will be the only top 5 seed to make the semifinal. It's a good thing we all worked hard for those higher seeds and home field advantage. Oh, boy. 13-9. All right. Second half. The big news is TJ did not fumble the kickoff. And he's got the ball first in his own 20. 13-9. Paul had a lengthy drive. Feels like a while since TJ's had the ball. It's one of those games where you can see him now go like 3 and out. I haven't had the ball. Lengthy drive, fumble the kickoff. Now I go 3 and out. Short pass to Alton Jeffrey being double teamed by Jonathan Cyprian. TJ's been targeting Jeffrey more than Jordy Nelson. I think he'll have like 1 pass. I'm not sure Jordy's been targeted at all. I think he had a dump off. Brady 5 of 12, 78 yards. It's been an ugly game. 2nd down and 10. Jalen Richard in the backfield now. He really fumbled punt, but he's got a decent rushing card. Behind this offensive line, you could do some things. Paul's kind of alternating, blitzing everyone with standing around. Short pass Jimmy Graham being double teamed. Paul's on top of the double teams now. But Tom Brady is threading the needle regardless. He says, you may have heard of me. I'm pretty good. 7, right? Wrong on double team. 12 yards in the first down. Also has 10. So 9 units of double team completion. We now know, thanks to Glenn Guzzo, that the double team column completions are half of the guest right completions. I never, ever knew that. It's nice when you learn something 38 years into the game. That was 2 years ago. This is my 40th year. Off target right to Jalen Richard. There's a man in zone. Defense calls pass. So TJ needs his own card, +3 on the defense's card. TJ not fond of the plays where you can really get hammered. He's not fond of the draw play. He's not fond of the safety blitz. He used to really stand around the defense the whole time. This year he's been moving some guys around. I think we have another person in the joining the live broadcast because my volume went way down. That's what happens when someone joins sometimes. I don't know why. Every now and then when someone joins, the volume goes way down on my headset. I got to adjust. Long pass. There you go, Jordy Nelson. Nobody there. Covered by 4. Guessed correctly. 9 incomplete. It's the second time TJ's had a long pass right. Hit the 9 on Brady. On 8 and 10 are completions. 8 the long gain. How do you like that? Long pass right interception. 2 to 4 on a 12. It's like if it's 2 to 4 on 11, you're like, oh, that's great. That's nice. I can throw long pass right. I'm not going to get killed on my quarterback's card with a pick. And he even has it on 12. I don't want to go on a limb here, but I think he might make the Hall of Fame. I don't know what you guys think. 3rd and 7 Chargers at their own 35. That was Lawrence, I think, who traded Tom Brady. Was it Lawrence who traded Tom Brady to this team a couple of years ago? Well, Dan Morin wouldn't have traded Tom Brady. That's for sure. 3rd and 7. Chargers at their own 35. 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 running back. Nickel 3-3-5. TJ could use a first down here. Not only to keep the drive alive, of course, but a little morale boost. And we've got a short pass, Jalen Richard. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Richard's actually covered by a 5, and 4 is incomplete in Brady's card, as we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jay Villing and Bradley Miller here. We have 5 league members watching the game. I'm calling it that's 6. 2 guys playing, that's 8. So a third of the league is invested in this game right now. And the booming 59-yard punt by Pat McAfee down inside the 10 to the 6 for Jamison Crowder. Paul deciding whether to let it bounce or return it. Any day now, Paul. And fair catch. Got a touchdown at 2, got 24 yarder on 4. +7, +10, +11, +5. I think if you look at that punt bounce chart, you should let everything bounce once it hits the 6. Forget if it's the 6 or the 7, but definitely the 6, you should kind of let it bounce. You're going to get a lot of touchbacks that way. Although again, this guy's got a good card, so. And you could get pinned. You're not always going to get the touchback. So Houston takes over their first possession in the second half. 1st and 10, their own 6. Look at Bass Jason Witten. Again, that linebacker 0 is there. This is a play that's actually been here for Paul, and he's not taking advantage. Receiver gets right 10 yards for Jason Witten. Potential Hall of Famer himself. Interesting candidacy. Because TD's been doing a lot of sliding the right inside out. Blitzing the right outside linebacker. So Paul can throw looking at the 0 or flat pass over here to the 4. Maybe some line buck occasionally, get the double box in play. Stubbornly sticking with his end runs and his downfield passing. Flat pass right to Brandon Cooks. There you go. Short yardage defense. And only +2 on the defense's card. But I'd like to see that. I'd like to continue with the look-ins. Flat passes to the right. Maybe some line bucks for Le'Veon. Don't let TJ do what he wants here on defense. And give you those plays, and you're not going to take advantage. Paul's been trying to challenge these corners with short passes. That's worked out that great. does lead 13-9. Flat pass left, Kyle Juszczyk throwing at that linebacker zero. You can throw flat out there too, sure. He's blitzing one linebacker regularly, and these guys are 4s and 0s. And you got Drew Brees. Linebacker extra short gain, 12 yards in the first down. And that's why I think Paul should stay with this. And now you can mix it up a little. Now you're in TJ's head with it. Maybe mixing a short pass. You know he wants to do a short yardage again sooner or later. It's a little more difficult to run a line buck. So what? You lose a yard, you get no gain. Big deal. There you go. Long pass, Brandon Cooks against a short yardage. When the guy's 1st and 10 at his own 30, I don't understand that call. Both these guys have done it. And guess wrong, 9 plus 27 wouldn't matter either. But, you know, that's another thing. You're enticing the guy to throw long passes with Drew Brees. He's got 14 units of completion, and Brandon Cooks is maxed out. I would want to be disincentivizing, you know, the long pass for the other guy. 27-yard completion. So there's one short yardage too many. I don't like that call. I don't like it. 1st and 10 for Houston at the San Diego 43. Flat pass right, Le'Veon Bell correctly double teamed, 4 out of 72 intercepted, but no, it's complete for 7 yards on Drew Brees' card. Flat pass double team completion. You got Drew Brees versus Tom Brady in this game. And just now we're getting a, you know, some semblance of a passing offense going. Second and 3 Houston. They're at the San Diego 36. In many ways, this feels like Paul's best drive of the game. Long pass for Brandon Cooks. Defense double teaming elsewhere. No man guessed right. Dump off very much in play here. And 7 incomplete on Brees card. He's got 8 and 9. So he's actually got 1 unit better than Mr. Brady. Dan Morin's going to want to write a letter. Just right about that. 3rd and 3 for the Texans. At the San Diego 36, 8:42 to go. A nice drive here for Houston. A long drive. But he's not even yet in field goal range. Vinatieri at 2 to 6 and 12, maybe. Something like that from 33. I think he goes beyond 37. I'm not sure. Maybe Dan knows. Has him in SOMIFA. I looked over, no. Nathan, I played him this year. Who is that? Ron Dickinson or Dale? Dale. That's what he means, because I was talking with the 4 wide. All right, fine. You played with this, but I didn't see it. I'd like to see it. 3rd and 3. Looking past Jason Witten against a short yardage. This should be good for Paul. One of those turnaround plays if he gets a really bad result. He got a defender X +1 or +3. He got it. Corey Graham nerfed down to a 4 because you're going short yardage. Although 3rd and 3, short yardage there, a little more palatable. But again, he got nerfed down from a 5 to a 4. So it's a 3-yard pickup and a first down instead of 4th and 2. Breeze down 18 of 29, 175. Off tackle left, Le'Veon Bell. Defense calls pass. Double teaming Le'Veon Bell, which we saw early. Offensive outside guard +7 and +2. Only a 2-yard pickup. Paul doesn't want to make a living on his blocking ratings. And you have the potential for a pretty unlikely club in the Super Bowl. Minnesota, Green Bay, of course. Paul's unlikely because he has so much success. But long pass for Brandon Cooks. 2nd and 8. No men there. Guess right. The hit could be a touchdown. Dump off for 7 yards. 3rd and 1. Paul's got it going on this drive. He's taking up a lot of clock. He hit a long pass wrong. This drive started at his own 6-yard line after the fair catch from Jamison Crowder. Kyle Juszczyk, 6 carries, 47 yards. Strat coach's dream. Kyle Juszczyk. 6'7" blocking back who can catch flat passes effectively. Every other guy's like, a 5'3" who can't do anything effectively. It's your typical blocking back, if you're lucky. 3rd and 1 for the Texans. Most of us go for like the 4-0 fake tight end. 3rd and 1 for Houston at the San Diego 24. Big play here. Kenyon Drake checking the game. I think he has a high fumble number, Kenyon Drake. He's not very good against right. I think he's got a decent receiving card. I think. I'm not certain. I know he's got a pretty decent guess wrong rushing card. It's going to be a linebacker quarterback kind of fake out. Ball's tricky. He's just messing with TJ, bringing Kenyon Drake in the game here. He's not going to do anything with him. 34. You got to do that. When you bring these guys in, you can't be like, oh, I'm bringing a backup running back, so now I'm going to run with him. He is running. Emron left at Kenyon Drake. Defense calls pass. Drake got a good wrong column. 9 is 5 yards at a first down. It's a pretty nice column. 6-7 short gain, 12 plus 45. Other solid yardage. 26.7 fumble number gets wrong. So certainly high, but not Tyreek Hill territory. Boy, was daring TJ to call run there. Guess right column could have been problematic, but he, I guess, was hoping no short yardage. Off tackle left, Le'Veon Bell against the short yardage. Used at the San Diego 19 now. Defensive onside tackle, +5 or +2. It's a 5-yard gain. Donovan Smith, a former NFL first-round pick. 4 and a 4 made the block. 2nd down and 5. It's a big possession here. If TJ can hold him to a field goal, 16-9, okay. Let me get Mr. Brady going. But if Paul punches this in, it goes up 20-9 late 3rd quarter with TJ's history in the playoffs, and he lost the 2 fumbles in the first half at his own 15. You know he's going to be feeling like, here we go again. Off tackle left, Jonathan Stewart checked into the game. Running the ball for the first time. Defense gets his pass. Flooding elsewhere, 5 yards on Stewart's card, 1st down. Now, Paul has played TJ a lot over the years, I assume. Like I said, I think they're both founding SOMIFA League members. But he knows TJ has an aversion to calling run against lesser running backs. Let me bring in this lackluster Jonathan Stewart card and get a guessed wrong run call. Let me bring in Kenyon Drake on 3rd and 1. You can't underestimate how much guys know each other and what that plays into some of the moves they make in these games. First and goal for the 9. Emron right, Le'Veon Bell. Defense gets the pass. Linebacker there. Bell's got 6 and 8 choking in his card. Paul trying to punch in for a touchdown. Offensive onside guard, +5 or +1. Vladimir Ducasi couldn't make the block. He can't make any of the blocks. He's a 0. Only a 1-yard gain. I get it repositioned here in a minute, I think, to call this game a little better as we get getting down to the stretch here. 2nd and goal from the 8. Le'Veon Bell in there. 17 carries, 62 yards. You got Juszczyk covered by 4. He can catch a short pass. Witten's covered by 5. Bell covered by 0. Teaming by TJ. Short pass, Le'Veon Bell. Covered by 0. Defense double teaming Witten. Snake eyes on Drew Brees incomplete. Numbers 3, 5, 7, and 9, but no 11, please. Paul's thinking. 3rd and goal from the 8. Well, Paul just answered my question. I was going to say, do you play it safe? Kick a field goal, want to avoid the interception, I'll run the ball at Bell. Paul goes 3 wide, 1 fullback with Jared Cook. So the mystery there has been taken away. He's throwing a pass. Would you want to leave Bell in the game? 2 tights, maybe? Give TJ the chance to maybe call run, possibly? I don't know. Probably the way to go. 3rd and goal from 8. But I'm not going to tell Paul to do. Paul knows what he's doing. My favorite was killing Paul's short pass. Brandon Cooks, forming there, defense double teaming Jared Cook. He just got the good pass defense to the 7-12 pickup in his card. 7 right, wrong, and double teamed. Touchdown for Drew Brees to Brandon Cooks. Nothing TJ could have done. Even if he double teamed the right guy. Touchdown Texans. 19-9, 94-yard drive, taking up a good portion, if not most, of this 3rd quarter. And now the San Diego Chargers, 15-1, I think twice and lost in the first round. 12-4 this year. 2 fumbled special teams kicks inside his own 15. Has now got to try and come back against a very stout defense, against a great coach. But it is still the late 3rd quarter. You still have time. You're down 11, so technically touchdown, 2-point conversion, field goal, ties it. There's a lot of football to be played. So let's get it going with Mr. Brady, see what happens. Maybe a short pass fest. I got dump-offs. I got receivers. I got Brady. Short pass, Jimmy Graham, covered by 5. Single coverage, Alshon Jeffrey being double-teamed. We're waiting for a click. Receiver gets right, incomplete. Looks like Graham is at 1926 this year. Yep, 1926 short. Dennis just picked him up in SOMIFA. A big deal. Last week, I think, 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Their own 22. 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 running back. Might see a Jalen Richard run. Oh, my God. Tom Brady is 6 of 16. Tom Brady has 6 completions with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Short pass, Antonio Gates being uncovered, but the pass rush gets through. Brian Arakpo, the white dive 5, high linebacker. That's an Achilles heel. The high linebacker on a 5 against the center, Cody Whitehair, was only a 5. And the linebacker was a 12 with the bump, as Dan will tell you. And the white die 6. So 5 or 6 in the pass rush. Ball can still get through with a good chance. He got through there on one of those 190-40 readings. It was 16 of the random. 11-yard loss. 3rd and 21 for the Chargers at their own 11. Dime 3-2-6. Brady looking pissed, as he sometimes can look. Long pass, Jalen Richard. 2 men back there. 2 blitzes on. 8 is incomplete. 7 would have been picked off. And it's going to be Pat McAfee punting. He's got a block on 12 to the dangerous Jamison Crowder. 52-yard punt. TJ looking for a bounce. It's barely inside the 40. And Crowder's trying to get his hands on it. And oh my God, snake eyes for Jamison Crowder. He brings it back all the way. 63-yard touchdown. A special teams disaster for the Chargers tonight. Fumbled punt at his own 9 in the first half. Fumbled kickoff at his own 14 in the last 90 seconds of the first half. Now a 63-yard punt return touchdown for Jamison Crowder, late 3rd quarter, 27-9. Terrible luck for TJ tonight. Ball's coached a fine game, but terrible luck for TJ tonight. Now I know it's hard. I was watching that game where Mick was playing against Nathan, and second half, and Mick was down by a lot like this, and you see the quick clicking and the quick play calling, and I'm just annoyed and get me out of here. You gotta say, okay, this sucks. I'm pissed, but what do I got to do? At that 18, I need 3 touchdowns, basically. Oh, 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a 2-point conversion. I still got Brady. It's still the third quarter. Let me try to get it going. You can't surrender. Nothing. No gain on 10 for Jalen Richard. 1:30 to go. Look, you got to drive here and get some kind of score, even a stupid field goal. Maybe you get a turnover after that. Maybe you get a stop. But you got to drive here and score. Then it becomes a two-score game. That's how you got to look at it. I know it's hard to stay mentally tough when these types of things pile up, but you have to try and do it. They play anyway. Long pass Jordy Nelson, be double teamed by a rack ball. TG needs a dump off on 2nd and 10. 6 and Brady's card incomplete. 3rd and 10. 6 of 18 for 90 yards for Tom Brady. The Texans defense can be tough. I thought that they would not be able to do it tonight. Linebook draw for Jalen Richard, 3rd and 10. TG's looking for a 7 or 8 the defense's card. It's 8 on the offense's card, 4th and 7. He'll probably punt it, but you never know. He does punt it. McAfee punts a booming 74-yarder on Snake Eyes. That's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 Texans, their own 20. So we will, if Paul does go on to win this game, we will have one former SOMIFA champion still in the mix in the semifinals. Off tackle left to Le'Veon Bell. Defense goes short yardage. 3-yard gain. And we're in the 4th quarter. You got to feel badly when a season unravels like this in a playoff game with those types of results. Looking past to Le'Veon Bell, 2 linebackers there. He needs a pick on 3 on his card. Gets 8 incomplete. He's got to stop Paul here. 3rd and 7. The opportunities are dwindling for the Chargers with each play. Short pass Quincy Enunwa, successfully double teamed. Foreman there. Interception, would it be helpful? Picked off 2 to 7 and 12 incomplete on an 8. Had a chance there. Had a chance. And Paul's going to punt it on 4th and 7. Jalen Richards, the returner, does not have a touchdown. I thought he did, but he doesn't. We see Paul running the ball a little more if he maintains this lead. 43-yard punt down to the 36 perhaps. Jalen Richard gets box cars 6 yards. 1st and 10 charge at their own 40. 27-9, down 18 points. 3-score game. One of those can be a field goal if you get a 2-point conversion. You just got to score here. Got to score here. Got to score in a hurry. We have seen stranger things. Dennis Crowley now in the studio audience. Possibly also preparing dinner or helping the kids in some fashion in the Crowley household. Off tackle draw for Jalen Richard. Defense calls pass. No linebackers there. Short game Richard's card. 15 yards. Across midfield. San Diego at the Houston 45. TG needs to go zip, zip, zip and get in the end zone. Get some good results here. Nickel 3-3-5. Defense is a 4-5-4 up front. There's another off tackle draw for Jalen Richard. Behind the 6-6-5 left side. Defensive tackle +2 or +6. Fletcher Cox, the Pro Bowl caliber DT, makes the play. $12:54 to go. Chargers at the Houston 43. Richard Carter not as good as I thought. Long pass to Alshon Jeffrey, double team correctly. Dump off, that's what he needed. Successful for 9 yards to Jalen Richard. First down at the Houston 34. 12:18 to go. touchdown and a 2-point conversion makes it 27-17. That's what you got to be thinking about. If you get stuck on 4th and long, kick the field goal. Preferably a little closer than this. You got to get closer than this for the field goal, of course, but that keeps you alive if you have to. Long pass also on Jeffrey, also again being double teamed. The double-double on play, defensive back end zone incomplete. Well, some flat passing here might be a good option. Paul seems to be blitzing or doubling with the linebackers, but Paul's tricky. So as now that I said that, I'll probably stay home this play. So maybe a draw play again with Richard. Or a short pass to an unlikely target like Antonio Gates. Keep the dump off alive. Short pass, Jimmy Graham. Pass rush comes through. Sacked by Fletcher Cox. Picking on Cody Whitehair, the only non-7, comes up again. 5 on a 6 was only a 1-24 sack. No blitzes from the 3-4. And he gets a 21, 11-yard sack. And now the field goal is even something you hope for because it's 3rd and 21 at the 45-yard line. Jeez. Bad break for TJ there. Long pass to Tim Hightower. TJ's 8 or 10 on his own card. A 1-9 shot at that or a dump off. Gets a must run for Tom Brady. It's just a kicking the you-know-what from the Strat-o-Matic gods in that one. For Brady on 3rd and 21. 4th and 19, TJ punts it off in corner. And it's going to be down to about the 7-4. Cradle will probably let it bounce. He does. Touchback. 10:48 to go. Half man, half Mankiewicz. Getting ready for the trip into a semifinal in one of the many leagues that he plays in. Ball, a little bit of, I wouldn't say a downturn, but the last year or two, maybe not as much deep playoff penetration as we're accustomed to seeing from Mr. Mankiewicz, and he's going to rectify that right here in SOMIFA with his vaunted Texans. Dennis and I were talking, we believe, I have to double check. I think we did double check. Paul has had Drew Brees for his entire SOMIFA career. First season of SOMIFA, I think, was the 2003 card set. So the 2002-2003 card set. And Drew Brees' rookie year was like 2001 or something. And I'm pretty sure Paul's had him the entire time. I was in year 2. He had him then. He had Drew Brees and LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. That'll help you win some Super Bowls. That was the combo for at least 2 of Paul's Super Bowls, if not 3. But I think you imagine that. You take a guy in 2003 or 2000, whatever, early 2000s, and here in 2018, same guy, you're still using him and trying to make another Super Bowl with him. And Paul's lost at least 1 Super Bowl, 1 or 2. So he's made at least 4 or 5 Super Bowls. He's made, I think, 4 or 5 Super Bowls. I think he's won 3 in SOMIFA. Flat pass right to Brandon Cooks. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Second 11, 8:24 to go. It's now looking academic. I know TG's not the most active guy on the Strat forum. I know he has a difficult way of conducting trade negotiations. But he certainly just had a lot of really bad luck tonight in this game. Crushing bad luck. Punt return from your own 9. Kickoff return from your own 14. Last 90 seconds of the half when you're leading like 9-6 and have played a pretty good first half, especially on defense. 62-yard punt return against you. When, whatever, it's 20-9, you're trying to get things going. Tough to win that way. And, of course, on top of all that, Paul's been stifling his offense when TJ's had an opportunity to have the ball. But, TJ's, has got Tom Brady. He'll still be on his team next. Well, he'll have a great card again next year. unless he trades him. I had a deal set up. I was supposed to get him 2 years ago. Short pass, Jordy Nelson. 3rd and 10. Andrew Luck apparently is getting ready to resume throwing. I'm not keeping my fingers crossed. Told me when he's like actually playing and like looks okay. I've had enough of this nonsense with him. One pass, Alshon Jeffrey. 3rd and 10. Dump off, good for 20 yards. I mean, it's going to take a near miracle here. Play, touchdown, onside kick, that type of thing. Ball sitting back on a dime, 3-2-6. Blitzing the outsides. I don't think you can get out of bounds the last 5 minutes of the game, so I'm going to looking past Jalen Richard or Antonio Gates. You can pick up a 10, 13, 16, 20, something like that. Short pass to Graham. So that would have been 7 yards. And they're emptying out here in San Diego. Spectator left the game. Tom Brady, 8 of 25, a $1.19. 1 seed, gone. 2 seed, gone. 3 seed, on the way out the door. Nathan Baylor. Home field, please. Thank you very much. 4 seed doesn't have to go on the road in the playoffs. It's nice work if you can get it. And now he gets to host probably Ron Dickinson. Ron's a very good coach. Don't want to sleep on him. And Nathan knows that. Still, Kirk Cousins, LaShawn McCoy. And they got the Texans. We'll talk about a contrast to the styles. The Texans, a defensive-oriented team. With Paul will be hosting Dale Ripley's Minnesota Vikings with Brian Hoyer in the 4 wide. Dale was telling us he had never won a playoff game in this league. He's won 2 this year. In the wild card round, he defeated the Giants. Defeated Joe Golden in the wild card round. Then in the big upset against Dennis. Dennis had a brutal stretch in the 4th quarter with a short pass interception, 2-4, 11-12. Then a short pass 4-minute interception on a correct double team. And then a punt return, like a 62-yard punt return, given up. That's a huge lead, and that lead disappeared after all that. And he lost. Then I lost in an epic game against Ron. Started on, it was so epic, it took took 2 days to play. That's how epic the game was. Played 4 quarters on Monday, so let's come back for a 5th one today, but it was a pretty short quarter, unfortunately for my club. As Ron gets some revenge after all those years of horrible luck against me in the IFL. Got 30-27 overtime victory. Linebacker Le'Veon Bell, 2nd and 3. So, wow. This has been the strangest playoffs for me since we started calling these games. It's been 3 years calling these games. And, yeah, to see the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed gone. You're talking about people like Dennis and Jay Villing was not the 3 seed, but Dennis out, Jay Villing out when he was a home team and a favorite in his game. NFL losing the mini playoffs. I don't think we've had a 9-7 team in the semifinals and SOMIFA for a while. Dale Ripley's like kind of come from nowhere. He's been in the league, he's done a good job with his team, but it's never been a real good team. Certainly hasn't had postseason success. When he had Peyton Manning, he had the wrong quarterback, because now with Brian Hoyer, that's where you really want to be, I guess. Hoyer. gets him to the semifinals. And there we have it. Oh, thank you, Strat-o-Matic. Down scored, showing my defeat. Friendly reminder, thank you. They have 27-9. Paul tells TJ that was really horrible, bad luck. Thanks, but I feel guilty. I know what he's saying. But Paul played a good game regardless. I mean, maybe we had a close game coming down the stretch. Who knows what would have happened? It's impossible to say. But Paul played a solid game. What else is he going to do? Does Paul play a bad game ever? But this Houston Texans team, interesting club. Breeze, Le'Veon Bell, this great front seven, but weak secondary, the great pass rush, the defensive tackle sixes, the linebacker 5'6". The 4-3, those defensive tackle sixes, so tough to run inside. And that team going to host Dale Ripley. He's going to put him in the nickel 3-3-5. And Brian Hoyer, Paul will be home. Well, come on. When's the last time we had a 6 seed hosting a semifinal in SOMIFA or in any of the SOMIFA family of leagues? So 6 versus 8 in the semifinal. Paul against Dale Ripley. Texans Vikings, that'll be coming at you at an internet near you. And Nathan Baylor, Atlanta Falcons, now the top seed. That's isn't bad news for you, Nathan. This top seed business isn't working out too good this year. You might kind of wish you were the 7 seed right now. I don't know. Go on the road. But Nathan's the 4 seed, top seed remaining. He's hosting Ron Dickinson. So Green Bay at Atlanta, Minnesota at Houston. These were not the projections, I think, coming in. Interesting. What champion emerges? Nothing against Paul. We all love him. He's a great guy. Might be nice to see somebody claim their first SOMIFA championship. So it'll be one of the other 3 guys. We'll see. But that's a wrap tonight. Thanks for listening. And we'll look on the forum for the posts from the semifinal coaches. Congratulations to all of them. Look, I think it's a big deal. Every time I make the semifinal league, I feel like I had a good year. SOMIFA. All the good coaches here, we always talk about it. And this is like the year of the upset. And you got Atlanta. Atlanta's not an upset, and that's a very good team. The others are good teams too, but I think we would have expected others just based upon the way things usually play out in these leagues, in the SOMIFA family of leagues. Atlanta's legit. A lot of us thought they could make the Super Bowl, with that offense and Nathan and this and that. And Houston with Paul. Paul's always legit, can go do anything with anybody. I'm not saying the other 2 aren't legit, but they were the least expected. I think if you would have told people Nathan's making the semifinal, sure, I can see that. Paul's making the semifinal. Well, hey, it's Paul. But this Dale Ripley team, I think it's why you looking at the team. And then Robin was only 9-7, but he was 8-4. And had a rough 4th quarter. He was a very good coach. He's great in for the old game. That era. Taking him a little while to maybe get things going with the modern game and the dump off and this and that. But I wouldn't sleep on Mr. Dickinson any day of the week. And I know he's put up some really good defensive performances in SSFA. So I don't know what to expect. All right, guys, I'm signing off. I'll see you later. All the clubs, and we'll see what happens.